Hi, and welcome to Ask Me Anything. I did get this really interesting question while I was working with a client yesterday, and I thought I would share it to you. And essentially, the question was, what's the difference in a conscious belief and an unconscious belief? Like, how do you know the difference? And I thought that was a great question because a lot of times we think we understand all of the beliefs that we have because we're operating from them. But a lot of times beliefs have sub beliefs and sub beliefs underneath that. And our unconscious beliefs, meaning those beliefs that are really the originator beliefs, I would say, sometimes are buried so deep in your consciousness that you don't have access to them anymore. So, a subconscious belief would be a belief that is running the way you see things, the way you feel, the way you do things, the way you input data from what's going on in your life or from your experiences. Except we don't know that that unconscious belief is there, really sort of shading or changing the way we experience things. So the challenge with that becomes when we are in these unconscious belief patterns, we don't have access to understand what is running our lives or what's causing us to show up in one way or another. So one of the most powerful things that you can do is to make an unconscious belief conscious. And how you would do that is twofold. First of all, unconscious beliefs are the hardest beliefs to get to. So you could do it by working with a coach, working with a healer, seeing if they can find the patterns or trends. But here's how you know that an unconscious belief is activated for you. If you are experiencing something that you do not want to experience, and you've tried everything to change what you're doing, and it still doesn't change, that's the indicator that there's an unconscious belief working for you. One of the most powerful things that I do with my clients is make their unconscious beliefs conscious for them and then clear away the energy. Because every thought we have, every belief that we hold has energy attached to it or aligned to it. Now, the importance of understanding that is knowing that our energy is out in front of us all the time. So, you have an unconscious belief. And say it's about you wanting to manifest something. Maybe I want to manifest a relationship, but I have an unconscious belief that relationships aren't safe. What will happen is I'll be putting out a mantra like, oh, I'm welcoming in a relationship. I want this relationship. Universe, send me this relationship. I might go on some dating apps or whatever it is. Meanwhile, I wouldn't because I'm married, but you understand the example. The challenge becomes if you're not able to do any of that or manifest that relationship, it's typically because there is an unconscious belief activated. So you can recognize when you have unconscious beliefs, when you recognize that you can't manifest something that you want. So you might be putting out this mantra, right? I'm looking for a great relationship. I'm looking for my perfect guy. I'm visualizing this perfect guy. I'm taking actions to get this perfect guy. And yet, the unconscious belief is sending energy before any of that saying relationships unsafe, relationships unsafe, relationships unsafe. So if that energy is out in front of you, you can bet that it would be near impossible to bring in a partner in that situation. The power of understanding your unconscious beliefs and unwrapping them and then shifting them is the power you have to create what you want in your life. So if you think about it, we're all in this energy, in this universe to co-create what we desire. And if we've had an experience in our younger lives that set us up for something different, like this idea of relationships aren't safe, that will get in the way of co-creating what you desire. So what you want to do is to shift up the energy, to find that unconscious belief, to change the energy, and then put in a belief that's conscious. Now, one of the challenges with unconscious beliefs is that because it's buried so deep, it's hard for you to get to, but also it's like an octopus, like there's a core belief, but then it has all these tentacles out with little sub-beliefs. And so I worked with a woman who really desperately wanted a relationship, wasn't coming in. We did everything. We cleared the lineage. We went into soul contracts. We looked at everything. And then one day I did a regression around relationships in her life. Like, when did she feel that she couldn't attract a relationship that she desired? And you won't believe this, but we went right back into the womb, because when she was in the womb state, the energy of her mother and how her mother held relationships with that, and in this case, it was in particular a man. Men are unsafe. They can't be relied on. They're good for nothing. I'll never get wrapped up with another man. So you see that that's like 4 beliefs that I just reeled off that my client had no access to, because the energy of those beliefs was transferred in womb from the mother to her. And she held that energy. And so when she would do her conscious work about trying to bring in a relationship, it would never work. She could attract men. She just couldn't stay with them. And that's where we found these subsets of an unconscious belief that was tied to all these other aspects, like they're not dependable, reliable, they're good for nothing. I mean, it was crazy. I could hear in her body what she was holding around those beliefs from her mom. And as I started to say them out loud, she would say to me, "Oh my God, my mom used to say that all the time. Like, my father was good for nothing. He's not you can't rely on him. As a woman, it's better to do it all by yourself," and on and on and on. So although she had heard all of that coming from her mother throughout her life, she never believed it to be true. So in her mind, she never established a relationship about those beliefs. But she actually did via the energy of those when she was in utero. So we went back and unwound all of those beliefs. And I'm happy to say this was about 20 years ago. And why I bring it up is that it was one of the most shocking discoveries I had at the time, which was we can absorb the energy of beliefs from our moms as they carry us. If their energy is strong enough about something, we're absorbing that energy as we reside in our body. So if something in your life isn't happening for you, no matter what you tried and no matter how many ways that you have sliced and diced it, I would say do a regression back into womb state. That's one way to get at unconscious beliefs. The second way is to work with somebody that can see and read the beliefs within the body. And So you get super clear on what it is that you desire, what you've done to try to bring that in. And if it's not working, then work with someone to get underneath that belief. All right, everyone. I hope this has been helpful in understanding what might be in the way of what you are desiring to achieve. Take care, everyone.